So-called Republican Chris Madel saying, I am ending my campaign for Minnesota governor. I describe why in the below video. Please watch until the end. It is 10 minutes, 52 seconds. What? I figured this would be like a quick 2-minute video. How do you cuck waffle for almost 11 minutes?
I love Minnesota. I was born and raised here. My immediate family lives here. My extended family lives here. It's my home. I decided to run for governor because I firmly believe that Minnesota needs serious and systemic change. Fraud is rampant. Our streets are unsafe. We need to honor and respect law enforcement much more. Our education results lag behind Mississippi. Our taxes are absurdly high, and we're losing great businesses and people because of those taxes and ever-increasing regulations.
This kind of sounds like a guy who's upset that he can't get his piece of the fraud, and so he's like, well, we don't have any actual Republicans here. Maybe if I kind of try to sound like one and I run against the Dems, I can get in and keep perpetuating the fraud anyway.
The president has also signed the Bipartisan Take It Down Act in May of 2025, the Bipartisan Medal of Honor Act in December of 25, and just in this month, he signed bipartisan funding of resources for public safety, energy independence, national security, and environmental stewardship. Plus, in the past week, he proposed capping credit card interest rates at 10% for a year. Even Bernie Sanders seems to like that idea. From assisting their federal counterparts, even when those federal law enforcement officers have been physically attacked by agitators. This has created extreme challenges for local police. They have to balance following state orders, maintaining safety and relationships in diverse communities, and navigating the fallout from federal actions occurring within their jurisdictions without full coordination or cooperation. They're stuck between the proverbial rock and a hard place. It is unfair, and our hearts should go out to them. Mine certainly does. Please remember that these cops are the good guys. They're trying to protect you.
Okay.
Please understand and appreciate the difficult circumstances they have been placed.
Okay.
Please thank them for their service.
Okay. So
I again want to thank all who have supported me. I will never forget your help, your encouragement, and your service. I will also be returning every penny of the money contributed to my campaign. You should not have to pay for my decision to withdraw.
Okay, well, that's a good thing,
So
at
thank
least.
you. God bless you, and God bless Minnesota.
I still don't understand why
We
he's
certainly
dropping
need it.
out. It seems like really ridiculous. Please remember that I want to be a part of the fraud. What? I don't understand. But someone named Charlotte Clymer said, Chris Madel is one of the leading Republican candidates in the Minnesota governor's race. He's also the lawyer for the agent who murdered Renee Good. He just announced he's dropping out because ICE has gone too far. At the end of the day, I have to look my daughters in the eye and tell them I believe what I did is right, and I'm doing that today. Are they taking this as he's admitting that the person he's representing as a lawyer did do something wrong? I don't know. Guy needs a new lawyer, man. That's what I gotta say. What the fuck? He's a Dem, heavy donor to Walz and others. He was cosplaying as an R in the GOP lane and is a complete fraud. Interesting if true. I have no idea what his donations have been. What was his polling position before he dropped out? Before dropping out, Chris Madel placed 4th in a December 2025 Minnesota GOP straw poll of over 300 activists. What? Trailing Kendall Quayles, 93, Lisa DeMuth, 90 votes, and Mike Lindell, 49 votes. No recent public primary polls included him prominently. We have this guy reminding us of all the little white pills being stuffed in our food. ICE is still making arrests, even in the community in Minneapolis. The only people leaving are Bovino, and we have no indication from anybody who matters that he's being demoted. And even the journalist who broke the story backpedaled within hours. Bovino is leaving because a higher official is taking command as the operation moves into a new phase. The church attackers are still being charged. The judge simply denied an emergency warrant. Local police are protecting ICE on the ground as they make those arrests. They should have been doing that the whole time. Better late than never. And once again, the ire should be held at the Democratic politicians in the area. They were fueling violent rhetoric and trying to encourage people to put themselves in harm's way to obstruct ICE officers doing their detentions. Insurgency is no longer able to create martyr situations to fuel their escalation pattern. The fraud investigations are moving forward under Homan. But Trump blinked okay. I think it's reasonable to criticize things when they go too slow or when there's things that are wrong, but you should also be happy when things do finally move along. Can't just be sad forever, you know? It says Tom Homan has the left in Minnesota panicked because he said a database would be launched for leftist insurrectionists stalking and attacking ICE. I still don't really like the idea of the government making this database. Right, like, I understand from looking at Cam Higbee shit, yes, these are insurrectionists, these are domestic terrorists, they're very organized, they have game plans, they have license plates, they have maps, they have access to people to get them this inside information, whether that be in positions in the government or police officers or whatever. I get it, but I don't like the idea of the government making the database, is my thing. I'm fighting fire with fire or ice. Yeah, but I'm just thinking about how this database could be worse in the future, right? I would love to cheer for holding our rule of law, but this kind of thing makes me a little bit needly because I just think about how it can be used by any kind of government. Would I rather Planeteer, you know? Posted the fix everything button meme. This is a part of that. Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, you know, even if I might disagree with some things, as long as I can not get in the way of things actually happening, maybe that's fine. But, it just makes me worried about, am I gonna have to call this shit out, like, next year? Because they transformed the database to just, like, something the UK is doing, you know? I don't know. I don't like that. This would include their name and face and would contact their employers. And once again, like, this is the government. Why are you putting, like, names and faces and contacting employers? Why aren't you just fucking arresting them, man? We're gonna make them famous. We're going to let their employers and their neighborhoods and their schools know who these people are. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. And, like, yeah, if you're out there fucking causing violence, right? Like, that makes sense. But once again, you're the government. You can just arrest them. Homan does not screw around. He is relentless. No, I wouldn't call this relentless. Relentless would be actually arresting them. I don't know. Maybe the point of the database is that so other people call with their locations and they can arrest them. But, like, if you already know their name and face and their employer, surely you would know where to arrest them, right? You remember being on the unvaxxed list in your province? There were unvaccinated lists? What the fuck? Go get him, Mr. Homan. It's no wonder Tim Walz and Jacob Frey are caving right now.
You know, say follow ICE, you know, and film ICE. You know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross that line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impediment, assault, we're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools, know who these people are. Because as you said, a lot of these people, they say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But
and I don't think it is a problem if someone is going to a protest, right? And so this is another thing. I think it's fine if people are going to protest and, like, stand there. I don't think it's fine if they're going to be violent or they're going to try and impede the federal agents trying to make arrests, right? Because those are not rights. You don't have the right to do that. So is this database going to include, like, all of the people who have literally done nothing? Because, like, please don't make me defend these fucking freak-ass protesters, man. If they have names and faces, IRS unfortunately has a lot of extra employees. He did say the ones that they arrest. He said if they're arrested? Okay. Just reminded you to remove your handcuffs from the bedroom. What the fuck? It is a list of the arrest. Okay, there's already that list of arrested people out. So if they're already arrested, thus already violent or have done something wrong, that's fine. I just want to make sure that, like, random people who were just there doing nothing would not be implicated, because that would be a big problem for me. If everything you do hinges on whether your enemies will use it as well, you've already lost. Yeah, no, and I agree with that, which is why, like, while I was explaining my thoughts here, it's like, it's kind of, you struggle between that, like, I don't like government databases, but also the left literally wants to kill me, so I mean, what exactly are we optioning here, right? I don't want to start arguing in defense of people who will twist my principles to use against me. So it's like, it's just like, it feels like a weird little black hole where it's like, I don't trust the government, but I also don't trust people that want to kill me. A week before Alex Pretti was shot by Border Patrol agents while armed, he had a violent altercation with federal agents in Minneapolis, got tackled, and injured his rib. Pretti was an active ICE hunter and a known menace. Then he shows up armed and lost his life. Imagine that! The entire network needs to be dismantled and its organizers in prison. They're throwing their own people into meat grinders. And this would also explain why his parents explicitly said to not get involved with the ICE agents when they warned him about going to protests. I was like, that's a weird thing to say. That's weird that his parents would just randomly say that.
CNN is learning that Alex Pretti had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Pretti broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting. Priscilla Alvarez is breaking that story for us. What else are you hearing, Priscilla?
Dana, we're learning more details along with my colleague Jeff Winter about what exactly transpired a week before Alex Pretti was shot in Minneapolis and died.
Do you think Jeff Winter, since his last name is Winter, or anybody else with the last name Winter has ever had a woman say to them that they wish he would make their Christmas white? You think that's something that's happened before?
This past weekend. Now, in this earlier incident, he stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle.
What the fuck?
Pretti later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and one leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib. According to this source, and I'm quoting here, that source said, quote, "That day he thought he was going to die." Now, Pretti was later given medication that is consistent with treating a broken rib, according to records reviewed by CNN. Sources also say that he was known to federal law enforcement, though it's unclear whether it was this incident or another with federal agents that they knew him.
That kind of reframes things a bit, where you have feds that knew he was a violent agitator and then knew he had a gun. And then when they backed up after hearing he had a gun, he started reaching for his holster. That kind of recontextualizes things a bit.
And they knew of him. It's also unclear whether the officers who tackled him on Saturday knew who he was.
That's also fair. It's possible they didn't know his identity.
What we do know, however, is that federal immigration officers have been collecting personal information of protesters and agitators within the context of what the Department of Homeland Security has warned is repeated threats towards officers as they are conducting immigration enforcement operations. In fact, just Tuesday, the department also publicized an online tip form to share information about people allegedly harassing ICE officers. We've also heard Tom Homan, the White House border czar, say that a database would be created for those who are arrested for impeding law enforcement, but thus far in our queries to the Department of Homeland Security, they have said that no such database exists.
Unbelievable. There's a
Wait, why would they say no such database exists? If it's the actually already arrested database, that does exist. I'm pretty sure I tweeted about that one. I'm pretty sure I tootled about it. I don't remember what the link is, though. Alex Pretti was known to the feds and had his rib broken in an anti-ICE protest a week before he was killed by Border Patrol. You know, that's kind of funny. He had his rib broken a week before he was at another protest. Weren't there some people trying to say, I saw the ICE officer that shot Renee Good moving boxes after 48 hours. That means he couldn't have had internal bleeding. Burger Patrol. It's a Burger Patrol. So he's running around on he's running around on a broken rib, I guess. Brain not braining type energy. Yeah, if fucking internal bleeding was enough so that you couldn't move boxes 48 hours later, surely you wouldn't be running around assaulting ICE agents with a broken rib a week later. Some people never leer. Alex Pretti was known to the feds and suffered a broken rib in a violent confrontation with agents a week before Border Patrol officers killed him in Minneapolis. Pretti, an ICU nurse, told a pal he saw ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and stopped his car during the earlier incident around a week before he was shot last Saturday. I just want to say, like, every time I read his last name or Renee Good's last name, the irony is not lost on me, and it's like, maybe there is a God, and maybe he does have a sense of humor, you know? Maybe this is what will bring me back to the faith. He said he pulled over in his car and began shouting and blowing on a whistle, at which point he was tackled by 5 agents, the source said. Pretti claimed that one of the agents had left him with a broken rib after leaning on his back, the friend told CNN. That day he thought he was going to die, the source said, adding that Pretti had been released by agents at the scene. You think they're not telling us why they tackled him? Yeah, I mean, he doesn't just get randomly tackled. Obviously, he was interfering with something, but what was he interfering with? Federal immigration officers had documented details about Pretti along with other anti-ICE protesters in Minneapolis in recent weeks. A memo sent this month to agents dispatched to the city asked them to capture all images, license plates, identifications, and general information on hotels, agitators, protesters, etc. So we can capture it all in one consolidated form, the network replied. Although Pretti's name was known to federal agents, according to the source, it isn't known whether his information had been shared via the new intake form. It also isn't clear whether Pretti recognized or was recognized by the federal agents he confronted in Minneapolis on Saturday. Federal agents fatally shoot man during immigration arrest in Minneapolis. There's a little location. Video appears to show him being wrestled to the ground by agents before one of them removes Pretti's gun from his waistband and another fatally shoots him. Why did you write it like that? What? Why did they write it like they were a cowboy news reporter? What the fuck? What do you mean? He was just blowing his little whistle, minding his business, when 50 border patrol jumped him. They tied a noose and said, "This is MAGA country." Jesus Christ. I apparently have seen some tweets that said that some of the border patrol agents were in fact wearing body cams during this. So I would very much like to see what their body cams captured. Cowboy newspapers had great articles about people getting shot by law enforcement. I wouldn't know. I wasn't alive back then. I haven't used the microfiche. The Department of Homeland Security has denied that the agency has a database of alleged domestic terrorists. But you've been saying that you're building one. We do, of course, monitor and investigate and refer all threats, assaults, and obstruction of our officers to the appropriate law enforcement, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told CNN in relation to a separate incident involving a federal agent in Maine. FBI Director Kash Patel has also said that his agency is investigating encrypted group chats on the app Signal, which are reportedly used by activists to share information about ICE activities. Such groups create a scenario that illegally entraps and puts law enforcement in harm's way, Director Patel warned during an appearance on a conservative podcast Monday. It is striking how little the leftist agitators seem to understand about what your actual rights are. And the stupidest thing he did was conceal carry a P320 with a round and battery. Yeah, it is a very unfortunate circumstance, because I very much feel after watching everything that it was an accidental discharge that was that first shot. And so you have a bunch of officers only knowing that he has a gun and hearing a shot, and he is also probably hearing a shot. He knows he didn't shoot it because he's not holding his gun, and then he reaches for his gun thinking he was shot at. So it's like this huge clusterfuck of like, this could have been avoided if only you didn't try to get into an altercation with agents while having a gun on you. They were AI editing this dumb guy's picture. He's not attractive enough to be a martyr for them. So they're AI editing his picture and using the edit. Like, what the actual fuck? MSN used the edit. Wasn't the billboard in Times Square also the edited photo? They added hair in the replies. MSNBC decided Alex Pretti is too ugly to be a martyr, so they used AI to fix him. Like, that's crazy. Literally crazy that they had to AI edit his picture to make him more palatable as a martyr. Good God, dude. How did Ilhan Omar make millions from a 100% fake winery? This is insane. We investigated. Check this out. Ilhan Omar lists a Californian winery on her financial disclosures. You can see them below. The winery name is Est Crew LLC. In 2003, it was valued at $15K. In 2004, it was valued at $5 million. Hey, how the fuck did that happen? This must be a very successful winery to grow that much in value over 1 year. Except, the winery does not even exist. No phone line, no physical winery, social media gone dark, a barely functional website, and no wine. What is this? It gets worse. Omar's third husband, let me pause this, Tim Walz, had been accused of defrauding investors through this fake winery. He was sued by the investors for millions because it was all fraudulent. This is on brand, and Minnesota AG Keith Ellison previously worked with MyNet, the same AG who had refused to investigate widespread Somali fraud. How does a non-existent winery jump from $15K to $5 million in 1 year when the company is a ghost? How can Omar claim this fake company provides her millions in assets? Seems like a cover. Ironically, one of the wine labels they made was literally called The Devil's Lie. The Trump administration and Republicans in Congress must investigate this fraud further.
And what I found was so dark and criminal, I don't know how she gets out of this without going to jail. Have a look at this. Here's Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure from the Congressional Record, year 2023. I want to bring your attention to this company right down here, Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing
the Live,
that well.
Laugh,
The
Lear
total value
vineyards.
of the winery is listed at $15,000, and Ilhan Omar's barely making any money off of it at all. Hardly enough to pay a parking ticket. Okay, that's fine. Nothing really mysterious there. Businesses fail all the time. But go ahead and look at her filing for 2024, and you'll find that Est Crew Winery, the same company in the same location, is now worth $5 million. That's incredible, up from $15,000. And now Ilhan Omar's making enough to pay rent.
So this does look like an estimation range where it says 1 million to 5 million. That's a pretty fucking large gap, man. That's pretty wide. That's a wide-ass margin. And the one next to it, Rose Lake Capital, says what? I can't tell if that's a 5 or an 8 million to 25 million? What are these fucking gaps?
So this must be one of the most successful companies ever. Let's go ahead and check in on this winery. You know, maybe we could buy some wine. I like wine. Why not? Let's see if we can buy some Est Crew Winery. Here's Est Crew's social media Facebook page. You'll see here that the last post, oh no, was in 2023. Wasn't this the year that they were supposed to, go really big and make Ilhan Omar millions of dollars? Same thing on their Instagram, and they don't have an X. So let's go ahead and check their official website. What is Est Crew? We are winemakers and memory curators, okay? Est Crew Winery has a bunch of brands that's led by these people, creators of eye-catching labels. So I'm sure I can go and get some of their wine, right?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have any activities here, so
Odd.
maybe I could just go to their location and buy some of their wines, or maybe give them a call. Let's try and go to their location here. This is the Google Street View of Est Crew Winery, and what you'll find here is an empty parking lot. Doesn't actually look like an operational business. Certainly isn't the same name. So, okay, let's go ahead and give them a call. See if maybe they pick up. Let's go ahead and call the number on the webpage. Let's go ahead and give them a call and find out. Oh,
User busy.
User busy.
What the fuck?
Let's try that. Okay. Well, I've done this like 20 times today.
That's so weird.
Okay. So that didn't work. Is there any wine in this wine company? Is there anything about wines? Because I see like stuff about events, but like, what is this exactly? Aren't you supposed to sell wine at your wine company? Where are your wines?
Imagine selling a product.
You wanna know why? Because this is a fake company. Rep. Ilhan Omar's husband accused of swindling investors in their California winery. They stole millions from cannabis growers. You can see here's the lawsuit right here, saying that Tim Walz, who's Ilhan Omar's third husband, no relation.
Sure, this isn't the brother husband.
His investors and defrauded them. How did Walz get this relationship? Well, the current Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, used to work for him. Isn't that curious? Keith Ellison,
why is there so much implication?
refused to look into any of the Somali fraud. So this company was sued for being a fraudulent company. And the New York Post says the exact same thing, as the House is now probing the mystery of Ilhan Omar's
They're all guilty of doing
wealth.
stuff like this, not just
They
Omar.
said that
Yeah, some guy tried like responding to a tweet that had nothing to do with fraud, with like, why aren't you upset with Trump pardoning these people in the past for fraud? And it's like a bunch of people that got pardoned, I guess, in 2025. I have no idea who they are, but it's like, yeah, I don't want him to pardon people who are implicated in fraud. What kind of gotcha do you think this is? I didn't know it happened, but now that I do, yeah, he shouldn't have pardoned them. Next question. Next question.
Ilhan Omar went from being one of the poorest members of Congress, worth negative $65,000, to being one of the richest, worth $30 million.
Yeah, how'd that
Here's
happen?
a rare photo of one of their wines that they allegedly made. The
Trump
Devil's
did have
Lie.
some shit
But the
pardons. I mean,
entire
I'm sure he did.
company is
The
actually
Devil's Lie.
a lie. It's not a lie to Ilhan Omar, though, because she's able to list an enormous amount of her income and an enormous amount of her net worth to...
Because I see some people saying Trump pardoned them. What a retard. Trump hasn't pardoned, like, Ilhan Omar or any of the people implicated in the Somali fraud. No. I'm talking about people that he pardoned in 2025 for fraud. Apparently there was, like, a handful of them. I don't know who they were. I don't know. I didn't know that it happened. I don't want him to pardon people who are implicated in fraud, because that seems like a very fucking bad idea. If they've taken millions or billions of dollars, why would you pardon them? But if we want to play the pardon game, why did President Clinton pardon some people who participated in communist bombings? Why did he do that?
This fake winery. This winery is not worth $5 million. The winery doesn't even exist. It's fake. It's fraudulent. They need to investigate this right now. This is a lie. And maybe it's the devil's lie.
It's always so weird how, like, on the nose they are with this kind of thing, right? Like, why have a fraudulent company and make one of the wines the devil's lie? Like, come on, man. Be a little more fucking subtle, dude. Be a little more fucking subtle. Antifa Captain Kyle Wagner, the cross-dressing thug who screamed for his crew to get your fucking guns and kill ICE agents, is now admitting he's basically on the run and begging for a lawyer. Venmo, nuked. Instagram, gone. Now hawking hoodies and crying for donations to seek asylum from being hunted for his beliefs. Well, ain't that something?
The Alex Pretti murder, calling for direct action, calling for boots on the ground, calling for someone to stand against these murderers, was deemed inciting violence and...
Wow, imagine telling people to get their guns and do something about the ICE agents is inciting violence. Who could have seen this coming? Who could have predicted this?
They're being bullied by the administration, clearly. I don't think that they're going to let them take my account down, but...
I have a question. We already know he has a ridiculous tattoo of, like, some kind of letters on his face, but why does he have a tattoo of a sperm on his face?
I don't know what they're going to do, man. They're going to silence me somehow, and they're having a hard time putting a bullet in my head, so...
They want to arrest you, not kill you, and also, I don't understand how these people don't understand that actual, literal calls to violence are not protected speech.
We shall see what they do to get the job done. I have a backup account in my bio. I am basically on the run now. I have safe places and I have evacuations planned out, but the way things are going, I'm going to have to be very resourceful, and that's going to take support. So, thank you a million times to those of you who have. We were able to deploy over 100 gas masks on the streets in the last couple of days and help a lot of people, probably even save a couple of lives with the amount of CS gas they've deployed. As I've said a million times, I'm going to stay in this fight to the bitter end. I'm not going to run away, but I will.
I'm not going to run away, but I'm on the run right now. Guys, I need help. He does understand that, like, being on the run from arrest, the cops, like in GTA, they don't just eventually say, oh, okay, well, I guess we've spent enough time looking for him. It's time to give up. That's not what happens in real life.
Need some help.
What the hell? I'll buy one of your hoodies if you turn yourself in. Leftists are now calling Tim Walz a traitor after he was forced to allow Minnesota police to do their job and arrest rioters at a hotel where DHS was staying, with DHS agents even cracking beers and mooning agitators while arrests were being made.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction.
I wonder if the guys mooning are like recent ICE signups and they're just like, I didn't want to do this. I just wanted to grill and drink a local beer. You've made me do this. Have my ass. All it took was one phone call with President Trump for Tim Walz to bend the knee and send in local police to take on rioters. This should have happened on day one, and chaos could have been prevented. Every other Democrat governor should follow along. No wonder they're calling Tim Walz a traitor. I would love to know what was said in that fucking phone call. I really hope Trump did not give him any kind of fucking deal on the fraud in order to have this happen, though.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction.
I really hope someone in some of these videos screams, "Am I being detained?"
Where's your credentials?
I'm at level 12 news.
I can't hear you.
I'm at level 12 news. BG on the scene. I'm just pressed.
You don't have any press badges?
I don't. I can show you
If you don't have any press badges, they're taking you in, buddy. There's so many fucking rioters who LARP as press.
All right, why don't you move out there, okay? Just get out there. Stay outside the line, okay? Coming out. Coming out.
Like an HECU speech. Fuck the mask. The what? Mask speaker sounds sick. The trash bag jacket!
Open chair right next to Charlie Kirk and Dick Train.
What? What? What?
They have made multiple arrests.
I don't know what the fuck that was about pulling up a chair next to Charlie Kirk and Dick Cheney. What the fuck? Calling to kill Walz? I mean, maybe. That was just a weird fucking statement. It's like, I don't want to be shot like I'm some partridge if I go near Dick Cheney, man. Nick Sortor tweeting here, the Maple Grove police went hard after rioters in Minnesota when they attempted to terrorize Greg Bovino's hotel. Minneapolis PD, take note, this is how you handle leftist degenerate rioters. And before I play this, I do have a question now, right? Because, like, we know that some of the rioters LARP as press when they're not actually our press, but we have like on the ground independent streamers who actually are acting as a type of press, but they're not going to have press badges like someone from like the Wall Street Journal would. What could you do if you're a streamer and you want to go on the ground to somewhere like this? What could you do to like get some sort of official identification to show like, hey, I'm here to record, I'm here to report, I'm here as a journalist, right? Instead of being mixed in with the actual rioters. What could you do as a streamer in that kind of situation? Get arrested and get bailed out? Time to bring out the water cannon? Press badges are fake and gay anyway. You stay well out of the actual area the rioting is happening. I mean, the actual press aren't expected to do that. Talk to them before shit gets hairy. I mean, maybe. It's like, is there some way you could, like, I don't know, call the town hall and, like, ask for some kind of press badge? I don't know how that works. Now that I'm thinking of it. To get a state-level press badge, you generally need to prove you are a working journalist by providing clips, an editor's letter, or credentials to a law enforcement agency or the state's press association. Well, that's interesting. I guess streamers could do that. I wonder if you get a press pass from your state, if that would allow you to bypass some of YouTube's fucking shenanigans as well. Check in with the CLPS beforehand. It probably won't help in the exact moment, but it'll help when being arrested. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Foxu News, a division of Verstal Industries. That'd be really funny. I don't know, it made me think of that, so I wanted an answer. Thank you, chat.
My name is Foxu.
I like how they stand like NPCs.
I know you're getting some good shots.
Good crotch shots. Oh, I thought it was over, but it's not. It was just like cut. Look at that mouth breather. Looking at the ankle holsters. Excuse me, it's the thigh holsters? This guy's got a huge one. This guy's got like an entire backpack on his thigh, and it looks like, I don't know what this is, but it could be like those black, like wire handcuff thingies. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like the plastic things? Zip ties! Also, he has a thigh holster. He's got a lot going on. That's too much. That's too big. It's not cute and dainty. That's the gas mask canister. Is it? He's gay now.
South or the southeast towards Hemlock Lane. You have 3 minutes to disperse.
So what's happening?
If you continue to obstruct...
Like, this is the gay division of the ICE officers, and we just, like, really need you to step to the side. Like, totally please, if you could.
Resist or interfere with the police officers, you will be in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing a legal process, which will be...
I love that lesbian queer! He's so cool! This isn't ICE, it's the regular police. Whatever! I just wanted to make a joke because he had a gay list.
Fuck you, bitches! Oh!
Oh no, not another violation. Alright, this plebes officer, because of like whatever fucking armor he has on his like knees to his feet, like these guys look like they have normal feet, but for some reason this guy looks like he has horse hooves. It's just, they called him into work on his way to a My Little Pony dress-up day, you know? Like, Phoenix DS, thank you. Foxu News will be more legitimate with press association. Foxu field reporter, or that be designated to the courses. I'll have to get someone to be a field reporter at some point, you know?
Cops over there?
They got sticks! Why is there an astronaut here? Is that astronaut lost? This isn't near the space rockets, man. What is that? He looks lost. Rocket Man is lost, bro.
Yo, when am I gonna be able to get out of here? What's that? Alright.
Subject to arrest or subject to...
I thought he was asked to leave, and he's like, oh, all right. Thank you for just leaving when asked.
Police action. Other police action could include the use of chemical agents and the use of less lethal devices.
Or the use of bottomless mimosas, bitch!
And or crowd control tactics, which...
They could wear a blue bow tie. Also true. The zesty. I like the zesty cop. He made this fun for me. Thank you, Zest Man. We have another one that looks like it's a similar angle from what we just watched.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction.
Deploy the police officers. You'll wear the bow and ears to report for Kirsche. I just find a femboy reporter, you know? What control tactics?
I'm at level 12 news.
I can't hear you.
I'm at level 12 news. BG on the scene. I'm just pressed.
You don't have any press?
I don't. I can show you
Alright, why don't you move out there, okay?
No one would have died. But then the Democrats couldn't have made some martyrs for their side for the midterms, bro. We needed to show a force for the midterms, man.
Stay outside the line, okay? Coming out. Coming out.
I want to see if this one goes longer than the other one we were watching. The gay man is a tactical choice. The crowd responds to the homosexual dialect much quicker. He has internalized homophobia.
Open chair right next to Charlie Kirk and Dick Crane.
Oh yeah, I see it. I didn't hear the like there's an open chair for you in hell part, so I was confused before. Anti-ICE Loon tells CNN that America has concentration camps and might be putting people in ovens soon. I really don't understand how they get to this point of delusion. If you go so far left that you make Jake Tapper uncomfortable, you may have jumped the shark. In a PR battle that the lefties are supposedly winning at the moment, they've decided to send their best and brightest onto CNN to repeat insane conspiracy theories because the libs are all gas, no brakes.
I understand that, but they take people to Fort Snelling here, which literally was built as a concentration camp, and Alligator Alcatraz, which I think we can all agree is a concentration camp. Not saying they're Dachau, I'm not saying they're putting people in ovens yet, but these are concentration camps.
Okay.
I don't need to argue with you about
that.
Tapper just like, how do we reel back from this? Just bold-faced lying. Why are they all dysgenic? Because this is the only thing they have going on in their lives, I guess. So waiting for Trump exterminating the LGBT as they claim would have happened during the first term? Yeah, once again, these people just do not live in reality. I understand that they're taking people to court in Fort Snelling, which was literally built as a concentration camp. That's just re-quoting the video. I don't know what the fuck. Even Jake Tapper wanted to pull back the reins on that claim. You know the way to get America to love you? Declare half the country Nazis and fearmonger that law enforcement officers are going to put people in ovens. That'll win the hearts and minds of America. The replies are a must-read. Moderate Democrat here. This sort of reckless rhetoric is why my half-Asian, half-black wife voted for Trump in 2024. It's tearing our marriage apart, but by God do I love her. That was satire. I was gonna say, that doesn't sound real. This doesn't sound real. David Santa Carla, very cool of Jake Tapper to push back on this messaging meant to radicalize more leftists. If Tapper thinks you're retarded. This reminds me of that shitty news reporter. I don't even remember what he was responding to. But like something had happened and instead of having like an actual response, he did the, oh no, that sucks. Like super sarcastic response. If ICE is Gestapo, why do they feel uncomfortable confronting them? Didn't those guys have a habit of shooting into crowds with MG42s and disappearing people who shit-talked them? You know? I'm glad that Not the Bee used this fucking comic, but I'd stay out. This is just another way of saying you're fighting Nazis, libs. More of you need to go out and fight ICE and get yourself killed. I think what's extra funny to me about this is like almost no one remembers Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, getting up on like the world stage and saying Hitler didn't want to kill the Jews. The Grand Mufti at the time just gave him no choice. Hitler just wanted to deport them. But if if progressives wanted to use that line of logic, then they would have to admit to watching Bibi Netanyahu and agreeing with something the Jewish head of state said, which would be very problematic for their side. So like they could have a very funny retort to this meme, but I don't think they'll use it. Common. ZomboCom remembers. I just think that would be a really funny fucking thing to witness. ICE agents smash a car window to detain 2 migrants in Columbia Heights in Minneapolis. Woman with a baby in the car refused to stay behind, pleading to come to Whipple Federal Building as well. Ma'am, take the baby home. The agent attempted to stop her from getting in the ICE car. Man, now they have to repair that window and they could have just opened the door.
Stay right there. Okay, observe him right there.
I mean, he should be arrested for that haircut alone. Let's be honest.
Let me guess, still no warrant? You don't think you need one?
I find it really interesting when the rioters talk about warrants when a lot of the people that they're arresting have had removal detainers since like 2003, 2014 and shit like that.
Leave her because she got the baby. Cierra la puerta, cierra la puerta.
Yo me voy con mi esposo.
Él va preso.
No, yo también.
Mami.
You see, I'm a little confused why they say to her to take the baby home, right? Because, like, I thought we were deporting families together and not breaking up families, so why would they stop her from getting in the car? That's my question.
Hey, put him in the car. Don't let her get... Put him in the car? What are we doing? You're taking him to Whipple. And give me his ID. Hey.
He's going to jail, says ICE.
Man, go home with the baby.
She might not be illegal. Right now, they're arresting criminal illegals. So people with a record that is more than just entering illegally. So maybe that's why they're telling her to, like, just go home. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should keep families together.
So Malik, bring it in the car. No, Malik, don't let her in the car.
It's also possible that she isn't illegal, and they cleared her to stay. I know what she said there. She said, yeah. Sir, why?
She don't want to move.
I thought she said swine. She said, Senor Porqué. Oh, he tried running. Did she just provide cover for him to run? Hold on. She even moved the seatbelt for him. Mandark, no. Look at her smile after she steps back. She 100% was covering to help him run. Yep. It kind of reminds me of, like, the soldiers that talk about how pregnant women would be used to, like, try and send suicide bombs up to them. And, like, the soldiers had to suppress their natural instinct to, like, want to help the pregnant woman because they would use her specifically to get closer to them because they figured that the male soldiers would want to help her. Now, deport her as well. She's an accessory now, man.
Leave him alone!
Not their first rodeo. Yeah, absolute dumbass thing to do. I hope they actually arrested her after that, because what the fuck? What the fuck? A private jet in Maine belonging to the top anti-ICE and anti-Trump lawyers who defended illegal aliens. All passengers are presumed dead. Here's what to know. A 2020 Bombardier CL600 Challenger belonging to KTKJ Challenger LLC crashed on takeoff last night at Bangor International Airport at 7:45 amid heavy snow. I don't know why they chose to fly in these weather conditions. That seems like not a good idea. The LLC is registered to Jason Itkin and Kurt Arnold, two trial attorneys who have made waves fighting conservatives in Texas and defending illegal aliens. It is not known whether Itkin and Arnold were on board or why they were in Maine. The Texas Voice has reported, along with George Soros and other personal injury trial lawyers, both the Arnold and Itkin and Abraham Watkins law firms were major donors to the left-wing First Tuesday PAC during the 2024 election cycle. First Tuesday was responsible for a multi-million-dollar ad campaign that encouraged voters to stop MAGA Republicans and vote for every Democrat. The Arnold and Itkin and Abraham Watkins law firms each donated $300,000 to First Tuesday in support of their efforts to elect Democrats in 2024. This is incredibly depressing. Like, I don't care about my disagreements, like, with their policies or what they were doing, but, like, an entire plane of people dying is always a tragedy, and it's really sad to think about. Like, why did you fly in the storm, man? It's like, we were supposed to get feet of snow in some places. New info, 7 dead, 1 survivor. Most on board are believed to be crew. Early info suggests the attorneys themselves were not on board the jet, which had stopped to refuel. No indication yet why they would attempt takeoff from Bangor in that much weather. That's even more tragic. Why was the crew flying the plane with nobody on it to Maine in the middle of horrific storm conditions? Why? That's incredibly horrific. Brown woman was crying they had to fly. I just don't understand. Why did this happen? That's what I want to know. I need more information. How did this happen? How did this tragedy occur, man? Trump administration wins court victory freeing ICE agents from Minnesota protest restrictions. Federal appeals court sided with the Trump administration Monday in a ruling that blocks restrictions on tactics being used by U.S. ICE agents while dealing with anti-ICE agitators in Minnesota. The ruling by the 3-judge panel, 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, put a stay on a lower court ruling that prevented officers from arresting, detaining, pepper spraying, or retaliating against protesters in Minneapolis without probable cause, as anti-ICE agitators continue to confront authorities carrying out enforcement operations. I still have absolutely no idea how a lower court was even able to impose this kind of thing. Like, that seems a little weird to me in the first place. But I guess thankfully now it is overturned. We accessed and viewed the same videos the district court did, the appeals court said in the ruling. What they show is observers and protesters engaging in a wide range of conduct, some of it peaceful, but much of it not. They also show federal agents responding in various ways. The lawsuit alleged that federal authorities violated the civil rights of 6 protesters. Last week, the court temporarily lifted restrictions on ICE agents' use of force against protesters in Minnesota. Monday's ruling grants a full stay, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said. Liberal judges tried to handcuff our federal law enforcement officers, restrict their actions, and put their safety at risk when responding to violent agitators, she wrote on X. The DOJ went to court, we got a temporary stay, and now the 8th Circuit has fully agreed that this reckless attempt to undermine law enforcement cannot stand. I think I'm gonna think about that agent that got his finger bitten off for the rest of my life. That is still one of the most wild things I have heard in one of these. We'll be clear, Minnesotans have the right to safely assemble, document, and protest federal immigration agents' actions in our communities. And we will continue to work to ensure all Minnesotans are able to exercise those rights without fear of being harmed by ICE or any other government actor, said Deepender Mayel. Deepender. Mayel, executive director of the ACLU in Minnesota. In a January 16th ruling, U.S. District Judge Kate Menendez sided with the protesters and issued the preliminary injunction. The plaintiffs sued the Department of Homeland Security and ICE over their treatment during immigration enforcement operations. In her ruling, Menendez found the plaintiffs were likely to succeed on claims that federal agents violated their First and Fourth Amendment rights during protests and observation of ICE activity tied to Operation Metro Surge in the Twin Cities. She cited incidents in which ICE agents allegedly used pepper spray, pointed weapons, made arrests, and conducted traffic stops against individuals who were peacefully observing or protesting immigration enforcement. And that's nice that her thing was completely rejected, because that means that, once again, like these people think putting their hands on a federal agent is perfectly fine. That is not impeding your rights. You do not have a right to fist fight federal agents. Cue the Randy gif. I thought this was America.